This video is just a brief synopsis educating new teacher, or for those who need some pointers and tips about creating an inclusive classroom for special needs students. I will also provide some information about accommodation and modification, some laws surrounding inclusion, and the history of special education. I will begin by explaining what is inclusion. Inclusion is defined as providing special design instructions and support for students with special needs in the context of a regular classroom setting. All students in a school are full members of that school community. As teachers, as general education teachers, we have to teach students in the same normal setting as their non-disabled peers. So that is basically inclusion. Now, as it relates to the history, with the adoption of IDEA 40 years ago, children with disability started to be integrated into general education classes, and special education evolved. So, since 1975, the primary aim has been inclusiveness, but it is no longer merely inclusion. Educating students with disability should be broadened to include equity, success as measured by test scores, and customization of learning so that each child is educated in the best way they learn. IDEA 2011. So here we're seeing that as a teacher, we have the responsibility and we're obligated by law to educate these children in an inclusive setting. Their education must be tailored to meet their needs, it must be modified, and there must be special accommodation in mind. So some of the laws that helps to govern this are they must have an IEP, which is an individual education program, and this is necessary for public school to accommodate a child's specific educational requirement in a least restrictive setting possible. IDEA guarantees that all children have a chance to study in the least restrictive environment. FAPE, free and appropriate education, is an educational right that assures that all academic and related services are intended to suit disabled people's unique needs. IDEA again incorporates a series of procedural protection to safeguard the rights of disability and their family and guarantee that all special needs people receive FAPE. Number 5, IDEA guarantees that suitable assessment techniques are used to reduce the number of misidentification. And finally, number 6, collaboration is essential for learners to acquire the education that they require for success. So as a teacher, we have to collaborate to see how best we can work as a team to meet the needs of children with special needs. We have to work with the special education teacher. We have to work with their parents, guidance counselors sometimes. So we have to form a team. Sometimes we may use it as a multidisciplinary team. We have to, so it's a lot of collaborative effort. So what is modification and accommodation? So I remember as a general education teacher, when I just started teaching, I was overwhelmed by when I was issued an IEP, and I was wondering what it is, and I had to ask the special education teacher to actually walk me through, and she provided some information to me, but honestly I did not know all of these. So I also had a struggle of what was modification, what was an accommodation. So I know that this document specifies where and what and how, to some extent, the modification and accommodation should be. So one, help a student with an IEP may receive is modification. Now a modification changes what is being taught or expected of the student. The use of appropriate accommodation and modification remove barriers to learning and allow all students to demonstrate mastery. So this gives students with special needs a fair chance. Accommodation keeps learning standard the same while changing the learning approach, and improvement shifts the level of instruction. So it may therefore mean that a child with a disability may need additional time on a quiz. It may mean that instead of a two passage worksheet, you could accommodate the student and make the necessary modification to just do one. So as a teacher, this is something that you got to look out for, because they got to be given equal opportunity too. And you got to focus and bear the IEP in mind to see how best you can modify the instruction and accommodate these students so that they can be successful. So let's go to tips now to creating an inclusive classroom for students with special needs. So to foster inclusiveness, according to Felder, 2002, educator must respect the individual's unique strengths and limits, which include providing students with various opportunities. So as a teacher, the first thing you need to bear in mind is what are the strengths of your student that is struggling with special needs. So if they like to do stuff that requires them to draw, embark on a special talent or skills, you got to incorporate that so that they can feel comfortable. And this will provide learning opportunities for them to improve on their strength. Also, the first thing that you should do as a teacher is to create a safe space. We know that when children are feeling overwhelmed or agitated, a safe space can help them regain control. So make sure that their environment is warm, the climate is friendly, accommodating, and they feel that they belong. Number 2, make use of differentiated instruction. I love differentiated instruction because it provides me as a teacher to reach every student, in particular my students with special needs. It allows me to plan successfully, to make sure that they are included so that they feel appreciated. To guarantee that every student's benefit, we must use a variety of instructional method. And there we go again, back to their strength. What are their strengths? What are they good at? We need to incorporate that in the instructional method. And I cannot overemphasize number 3, which is collaborating with others. Sometimes when we're dealing with special needs children, we feel overwhelmed. We feel like it is just us against them, but that's not the case. Don't be afraid to reach out, get support, ask questions, what you don't know, seek answers. Partnership is a collaborative effort. So exceptional educators, instructors assist both pupils and a regular general education. So reach out to partner with special education, partner with the parents, see how best we can work it out, because sometimes by just talking to somebody else about the particular child, you get a fresh insight, you get ideas, strategies how to reach them. And my favorite, number 4, build a relationship with these children. Get to know them. Every child is unique. Try to build a relationship with them by getting to know their strength. Talk to them. What do you like? How was your day? Reassure them that it is okay. And that's my little video. And like I said, it's an obligation for us as teachers to make sure that these children feel appreciated, that they're included in the lesson. We need to plan for them accordingly. We need to work with them. We need to get help. We need to get support. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Reach out to your special education teachers. They're there for you. And also work with the parent, guidance counselors to see how best you can meet the needs of these students. Because at the end of the day, we want to see them successful, and they, like their non-disabled peers, they deserve to be successful.